Good afternoon, everybody. I hope we're all having a great day so far at the AI Fair and Hackathon. Hello, my name is Josh Whidbey. I have been provided the absolute privilege of acting as your moderator for today's panel, AI, the Opportunities and Risks. We have Nina Arora-Rowland with us today. She is the Data and AI Lead over at Avanade, a global company providing services for the Microsoft platform with AI, business analytics, and security. Thank you for joining us, Nina Arora-Rowland.
I'm Nina Arora-Rowland. Link me on LinkedIn if you're interested. A little bit about me. I lead a team of 300 amazing data and AI professionals at Avanade. I personally have a data engineering background. My motto is data is life. And everything else is just a pretty dress on a hanger without the data. So you got to have the data. I'm focused on leading us into the future while holding on to our humanity, which we just heard a lot about. I think, I've heard responsible AI a few times today, and that is at the core of everything we're doing with our clients. A little bit about me personally. I'm a mom of 3 amazing adult kids, performing artists, technology, agriculturists, everything in between. Outside of work, I'm a dancer. I've been doing it for 30 years now, maybe? No, that's supposed to be 2000, not 2020. So I've been doing it for a while. And I'm a tour manager for a family of performing artists. Transferable skills. A lot of the work I do at Avanade is leading people, managing schedules, managing projects, thinking about what our clients need and how we can deliver that to them with excellence. And so a lot of transferable skills in between there. A little bit about Avanade. We are what happens when Microsoft and Accenture, one of the world's largest consulting firms, get together and have a baby. That's us. We have around 60,000 skilled professionals worldwide. We have offices in many countries and all over the U.S. We're one of the top SI partners every year after year with Microsoft and several other partners. And we've got thousands and thousands of projects where we've delivered data, AI, modern workplace, and software for our clients, and helping them reach their goals for their organization and reduce some of those pain points for them. I'm not going to spend too much time because I want to leave enough time for questions and answers. But a lot of what powers us and enables us to deliver quality solutions for our clients is being able to harness all the innovation happening with our partners, right? Right now, AI is at the core of all of that. And so we're using it in so many different ways, and we got to do it responsibly. We owe that to not only to ourselves, but to our clients and their clients. Everyone's got a stakeholder. So some of the career paths, I've had the pleasure of having quite a few conversations throughout the day today with some of the most brilliant minds I've met in a long time. And so it's always a pleasure. It's exhilarating, it's exciting and inspiring more than anything. Some of the career paths we have, especially since I represent data and AI, I'm going to focus on that. So first, what is consulting? I do get this question a lot, right? Some of the core responsibilities we have as consultants is understanding the business challenges. So, we hear a lot in the media about AI is going to take our jobs, or there's not going to be any more jobs for, college graduates. I disagree with that, right? There's a lot of room for human in the loop, right? Or human in the lead, as some of us like to say. And so understanding the business challenges, making those connections with our business partners and stakeholders, and really getting to understand what are the pains they experience throughout the day and converting those into opportunities for them, right? Opportunities for growth, opportunities for innovation, and recommending the appropriate solutions and the right mix of talent to help them get there. So we design, we deliver, and then we hold our clients' hands and walk them through the rose garden, right? That's where you have the more meaningful conversations, is that proverbial rose garden. That's where you can get to the core of what the problems are, right? Everyone's going to say, my pipeline's not moving data fast enough. That's a symptom. That's not the problem. There's probably a greater problem with a whole bunch of disparate source systems that are band-aided together because they've acquired maybe 5 companies in the last 10 years, and no one's speaking the same language. So our job is to come in and help those systems speak the same language, help them make their data look the same way, no matter who's looking at it, no matter who's working with it, so that we can help them make the decisions they need to make more effectively and efficiently, help them get to those decisions faster, right? So that they can spend more of their time on the things that matter versus trying to figure out how to make their data work. So guiding that change and adoption, that drives how we approach those conversations with our clients. A little bit more about consulting. It's not working on one project for an extended period of time. It can be, but it's being able to be dynamic, interface with different personalities, different personas, different businesses, and that's just not the same. Different clients or industries. Within an industry, you have different business units. Everyone has a finance department. Everyone's got a marketing department. Doesn't matter what industry you're in. So really understanding the business, and how does technology fit into that? That's our job at the core of it. So we've got 3 main pillars within data and AI. There's the analytics and BI path, pretty traditional. How do we gain insights out of the data, right? Now we're looking at using AI for business intelligence and helping AI, or looking at AI to do that for us, right? Our job is to shape the data in a way that the AI can understand it and make the right relationships and reduce those hallucinations. Because very, very important decisions are being made by these very large organizations. So accuracy is very, very important. So looking at that, and that's really where you develop those leadership skills, because in this path, you're interfacing with executives, key stakeholders, decision makers of these large organizations. So that those customer-facing skills, those soft skills, interpersonal skills, those are things AI can't do yet. So that's where we come in. Then there's my personal favorite, the data engineering path. It is the foundation, right? Without that data, how do you trust the output? You have to trust the data first. Data quality is at the center of that. So my engineers work on moving the data from one system to another, cleansing it, ensuring that the quality is high, right? And it's reliable, so that any insights we drive out of that, you can trust it, and you can make those decisions that are going to impact thousands, maybe millions of people, right? So it's very, very critical to everything we do, no matter what department or discipline you're in. And we're architects, right? We design these systems. We have to understand how they talk to each other, what the life cycle of that data is going to be, how it's going to be used, all the decisions that are going to be made with that one data point, right? It's very important to understand that. So that's what my data engineers focus on. And then the fun stuff, AI and advanced analytics path. There's so many ways to approach this. There's so many applications, so many tools, it's overwhelming. So I think it's really important to remove focus from the tools, because those are changing. Day by day, they're changing, they're evolving, and focus on the principles and the ethics. Approach it responsibly, and learn how to leverage the power that all these different tools and models provide, and how to best use them, right? Because we've got to learn how to do this efficiently as well. Otherwise, the return on investment will be low, and adoption will be lower as well, right? We've got to make it make sense. So it requires a systems thinking approach, looking at the problem holistically, really understanding what are we trying to accomplish, how are we going to accomplish it, and what's the most efficient way to do that. So innovation with responsibility. I think that's the core of that. Some of the case studies, some of the projects that we've done, conversational executive insights. It's pretty standard stuff, semantic data modeling, conversational analytics, and, driving those business impacts and benefits. I have an example. There's a chemical company. I personally worked this project, and we were building a large data platform to ingest data from millions and millions of IoT sensors in water treatment facilities around the country. And there was an example, I was sharing this with a student earlier today. There was an example several years ago where there was a Legionnaire's infection it was in Manhattan several years ago. And the system we built would have detected this had it been live. We were 2 months away from going live. But the platform we built ingested data from all of these sensors. So sensors that monitor the pH of the water, the chemistry of the water, the temperature, and would accordingly alert the maintenance crew so that they could release certain chemicals into the water to treat certain things like Legionnaires or E. coli or what have you, or turn up the cooling tower or turn up the heating tower to change the temperature of the water to make it healthy. So these are some of the examples of what we can do with AI and data and analytics all combined in a single platform. And then, another one is leading with the data and the AI, right? So a unified data foundation, democratizing data, and developing data products, right? So that we're having an organization and all the business units within that organization using the same trusted source of data, accessing it the same way in a controlled manner so that everyone's got the appropriate security based on their role in the organization and the decisions they have to make, and doing this sustainably, right? So that we are responsible to the environment. So we're not leaving planet Earth in a bigger mess than it is right now for the next generation. So those are a couple of examples of what we've been working on. A very, few examples. Feel free to reach out if you want more. But what does this mean for you in your career as you embark upon the world? Focus on decision impacts, right? Really understand how decisions are being made in the world and in corporate America or wherever it is you're going. I saw a demonstration earlier today in the AI fair. Just in talking with the young lady, I had 1 million other applications in my mind for that system they built. So really thinking through what's the problem you're trying to solve, then go take 50 steps back. What other problems can I solve with this same platform, right? So those critical thinking skills, building those strong data foundations. So that going back to the technical a little bit, it's really important to understand data, what it means. What are the different things you can do with these 2-3 data points? It's never singular. It's always multifaceted. Optimizing your learning velocity. Things are changing so much, it's hard to keep up. Even within a day, you'll have something change 10 times. So being dynamic, being agile, and being open to learning at all times from all places. We learn every day from everywhere. And developing the technical skills, but the strategic thinking skills, communication, presentation skills. How do we show up to those conversations with our clients? It's always important to be a partner, no matter who you're interacting with, because we are partners in life throughout everything we're doing and with everything we're learning every day. It's really important to bring that with us in every interaction. So focus on those soft skills, because that's where AI is not stepping on our toes yet. So let's hold on to that for a little bit longer. The humanity in AI, that's where we come in. I will hand the mic back over to my esteemed colleague here. Thank you very much.